It's Rachel and John back at YaJagoff Late Night again, reminding you to come on by on 5 Foster Plaza at 5 o'clock on Fridays, because this is what we do here, and you get to meet really cool
we do
people
it.
like our next guest who give out cake, but they don't just give out cake.
Oh.
They give out a heart with the cake. How about that?
Oh, that was a really
Thank
good
you very
intro.
much.
Listen, you two are doing such good things, and Tracy's on vacation, but as usual, she did her homework, and she brought us Priya and Ishaan Sharma. Thank you so much for being here. What is it, so that you do it justice, and Ishaan, you explained all of this to me before we even came on, because it's a concept that I think Pittsburgh does very well, right? When we figure out what's the concept, we do our best to give back. But you two are the ambassadors of Cake4Kids. You had the concept. Talk us through the concept of the fact that you were one of two who went through this process, right? Or how many people were involved? You take it from there, because you do the best talking, and people are going to fall in love with this and want to do it.
All right. Again, thank you for having us
Of course.
here on the podcast. So we, again, are the co-ambassadors of the Cake4Kids Greater Pittsburgh chapter. We're one of the few here in the Northeast. We launched back in March of 2024, but our actual journey to get there starts a whole year before that.
Sure.
When we got the idea based on some work that I had done before. I picked up baking back during COVID when I had a lot of time.
Sure.
And eventually we went through some projects, a few different work for school, that we decided that let's take this further, let's make it bigger, let's bring this to all of Pittsburgh. And so my mom, through a mutual friend, had heard about Cake4Kids, which is a national project, and we decided to open up a chapter. So the chapter application opened and we applied in about August of 2023. Back then, there were 40 different places all across the country that applied. We went through 3 different interviews where they vetted us, asked us if we were crazy or not.
You said yes, but I still want to bake cakes.
Yeah,
right?
they were pretty happy with that, and most people that want to do this are crazy. So,
And so there you were. Go
yeah,
ahead.
Exactly. So we were eventually there. We were one of only 2
Right.
out of those 40 to get accepted and now open up a chapter. Then we went through all the actual work of finding people that wanted to join us in this project. We opened with just 10 volunteers. Now we're at over 110. And we had to find agencies that were willing to work with us, and social service agencies that work with foster youth, different youth that are just going through hardship, shelters. And we work with them now. We've had about 160 deliveries total. And that consists of about 80 cakes, but we also do treats for other celebrations. So that's another 160 dozen treats, as in cakes, cookies, and brownies. And we're only growing faster than ever.
Now, Priya, why is your son so shy?
Wait, how about that? Yeah. How about that for an elevator pitch?
Yeah.
Welcome to my world, John.
Oh, yeah. So I like, did he come to you and say, I like to do this, and you're like, this is great,
Yeah.
I want you to do this, or was it really like a family kind of a decision to do this?
Yeah, this was one where we needed each other to do
Sure.
this.
Yeah.
So he liked to bake, and we look for ways to give back as a family. They mentioned 412 Food Rescue.
Sure.
We would do that too. So he wanted to give out cake, and I wanted to see how we could do that. So when I found out a mutual friend, she was doing it as a volunteer in a different city.
Mm-hmm.
So I looked to see if he could volunteer there, but that wasn't an option here. There was no chapter in Pittsburgh. So we talked about it some more. It was a bigger undertaking, but we reached out to them and asked them what we could do. And he was 16 at the time, so he wasn't allowed to do this on his own.
Yeah.
So we are the only mom and son team actually in the country to be ambassadors, and we did this together. So it's special.
Wow.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
for
You're
sure.
gonna make
So
me cry.
if someone does have a request for a cake, Ishaan, where do they go to your website, or is it through like a social service
Yeah.
that they contact you? How does that work?
So the way that all that works, with the national side, they help us with a lot of the administrative work. So we have a portal. So after we find an agency and they sign on, we have all the agreements for liabilities and all that kind of thing. They get access to a portal where, with about 2 weeks notice, they put in their cake requests. So typically that will include the child's first name. We never ask for more than that due to privacy. They can put a theme in there that's optional, if they have any allergies, if they're gluten-free or if they are nut-free. And after that, a baker, one of the ones we have here in Pittsburgh, can also have access to that portal. They'll see which ones are available, the address where they need to drop it off, and they'll figure out if they can take it. If they want it, they'll pick up the request on the portal. After that, they'll bake it, they'll drop it off to the agency, and the agency will then coordinate the delivery to the family itself. So there's a layer of separation, again, for the sake of privacy.
Wow. This is like,
if that's not amazing, I don't know what is.
Yeah.
And so these are for special occasions. Like we say birthdays, but not everybody celebrates a birthday. So this could be a reason for celebration that they are reaching out.
Graduation season just happened.
Yeah,
So that was a
for
lot of
sure.
deliveries.
And so then there's, as you said, there could be a theme. So it's more of a prompting. So if a child in particular is interested in something, they may say, oh, like you said, unicorns or whatever it might be. Is there an age limit? What are the other stipulations?
Yeah, so the people that we deliver to are youth, so as soon as they're born to until they're 21 is how long we work with.
Yeah, it's 1 through 24 years of age.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Okay, no, you're
so
fine.
is it, I find it interesting, or is it intriguing that you do all of this great work, and because of privacy, and we want it that way, you really don't get to see the joy on the people's face, the recipients' faces. Is that hard, or do you just know that it's happening? Priya?
Yeah, so we do know it's happening because we get glowing feedback from the caseworkers,
Okay.
the agencies, and I think we are quite okay with not being in touch with the child. We want the child to get the cake through the caseworkers or the family that they are comfortable with. So we don't really, so we are behind the scenes. That's
Sure.
quite okay. And I think the volunteers care more about understanding the request that the child has placed,
Right.
bringing that to life and meeting their dream cake need that they want. And then we do get good feedback from caseworkers, from the family. Sometimes we get pictures or a video. So those are passed on to the volunteers. So
Yeah.
it's a great feeling.
How gratifying. And honestly, I've only met you for about 42 minutes now, and I can tell that you just want to help other people. And to me, that's just an amazing thing. But again, as we talked, Pittsburgh loves to give back. So what a city to do this in, because this is the first of its kind. And Pittsburgh has really come out, because I'm looking at one of the statistics. Over 50,000 cakes have benefited underprivileged. Is that right? What did you say?
Yeah, so that's nationally.
Okay.
Every single year we're getting bigger. As for just this year, we're scheduled
Yeah, what
to
was your
have...
statistic for this year? 'Cause go ahead.
So we opened back March of 2024. We
Yep.
hit 100 deliveries in May of this year. And since then, we're now at 160 deliveries. So
Crazy.
We're growing exponentially at this
Yeah.
rate. And in terms of the number of treats that we deliver, that's about 2,000. And in total, that's not just the kids, but their families, the caseworkers,
Yes.
and every single person that we're able to impact.
So if you're listening to this, and the reason that I stress that information is you need more people. Like, you're not going to be able to sustain. So listen, Pittsburgh, we just said you're doing great things. Don't be a jagoff. Make sure that you are helping to volunteer even more. How can people volunteer, reach out? Are they vetted then? What's that process?
Yeah, of course. So the process to become a volunteer, just look up Cake4Kids, 4 as in the number 4. And when you look us up, you can follow that with Greater Pittsburgh will be the first result. When you get there, you can see 2 options, either donate or volunteer. And if you want to volunteer and join us there, there's absolutely no skill requirement. We found that the idea of the cake is more important than the cake itself. Knowing that someone took the time out of their day to spend 4 to 10 hours to how long it can be to make those cakes and then deliver it to you. But as for the actual process, you can go through there, you sign up, you'll have to go through an orientation, which is held online through Zoom. And after that, there's a little quiz that you take to just make sure that you know the details. As long as you get a passing score, you're able to then join and now bake cakes.
I'm going to click the donate button, because that would not be my forte to take 4 to 10 hours. My kids are lucky that it took me like 3 minutes to make cakes.
Right.
It's not my jam.
Right.
But seriously, make sure you donate, because you know this is going to an amazing organization. How cool is this? Don't you
And
just
pretty
feel
nice.
good?
Yeah, I mean, you have to be so proud of this guy, right?
Oh, my God,
initiating
I
all this
am.
stuff here. So
I'm really glad if I can get a word in here. Then
Sure.
I really have.
right between those two, I don't know if it's working out.
Whatever.
Yeah, I know you're
Yeah,
feeling.
I have to say this, but we've been very, it's been heartwarming to see the number of volunteer bakers that have joined us
Sure.
since March of 2024, how many donations we got, and we are now working with 8 social agencies. So I'm proud of Pittsburghers for supporting us in this mission. We could not do anything without the support of our volunteer bakers,
Yeah.
the agencies, and the caseworkers, and guys like you that are helping us spread the work.
Yeah.
So
Aw,
thank you.
Please, it's
We
our pleasure.
appreciate that. It is
And so the
pretty-
website again is I'm so sorry.
Cake4Kids.org/Greater Pittsburgh.
Perfect. All right. We got to ask you a question, though. What grade would...
remind everybody we're talking to Priya and Ishaan from Cake4Kids number 4 on YaJagoff Late Night. All right, so what do we have here? Oh,
Do you have a junk drawer?
Do you have a junk
I see
drawer?
you going in.
Oh my
I
God!
love it.
Okay.
I
I was
love
digging around. We took a family trip to the Grand Canyon a while ago and a hotel room key.
Yes.
Oh.
Nothing like a hotel
Sweet.
room key.
Well,
that was good.
Can we still charge drinks on it when we go there? Nice.
All right. And what grade in school would you want to go back to? It is back to school season. Some people have started as early as the beginning of July. I haven't started yet, but what grade would you go back to?
Me, I think 5th grade. I didn't
Okay.
have to work too hard then. It was,
Right.
I still remember the time, good times.
Okay. And how about you? I mean,
I
I don't
just
think you have to go too
graduated,
far.
so,
Yeah.
I'm personally not looking to go back just yet. But if I had to, probably 5th or 6th grade. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You two are a breath of fresh air. Thank you so much for what you're doing for our city. And please, again, make sure that you are checking them out on all the socials and volunteering and donating online Cake4Kids. Next up, we have a great musician coming at you.